Introducing a new podcast. Karen Hunter is awesome.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're going to love me. And Karen Hunter is awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of The Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. So check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed.
Karen Hunter is awesome. A new podcast from Karen Hunter.
I think it's appropriate that we talk about appropriation today. I did not watch one down of the Super Bowl 59. I did not watch, not one down. LIX, Roman numerals. But it did not prevent me from being a part of something, which I think might be the blueprint forward, also historic. I wasn't there for the I Have a Dream speech, but I've heard it. I wasn't there when Dr. King wrote letters to a Birmingham jail. I don't think I was born, but I've studied it. You don't have to give somebody your ratings to participate. We should be participating. So I saw all 12 and change minutes of Kendrick Lamar's halftime show online without giving the NBA, NFL, or whatever, NFL 1 minute of my ratings period time. But let me congratulate the Philadelphia Eagles. Get your eagle on. Drop down and get your eagle on. Let's go. And Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP. Philly, the city, the home, the birthplace, many say, of the United States of America, the home of the Independence Hall, home of the Liberty Bell, home of where the Declaration of Independence was signed in 1776 and the Constitutional Convention was held in 1787. On that day last night, appropriate to have the Philadelphia Eagles win the Super Bowl. Love it. The irony, there's so much here. And now Philly is the keeper of hope in the continuance of the new era that we're in, the FAFO era, F-A-F-O or F-A-A-F-O, depending on how you want to break that down. Two-time champion Kansas City Chief got obliterated. The score was 24-0. To nothing at halftime. It ended up being 40-22. Jalen Hurts threw for 221 yards and 2 touchdowns and ran for another 72 yards and another touchdown. He was, of course, and definitely deserve it, even though it's a team sport, the MVP. There's a video of Jalen Hurts sitting in the hallway of the locker room. And it's very similar to Michael Jordan when he won that first, and Kobe, when Kobe's hugging the trophy. He's there with the Lombardi football in his lap. And this song is playing while he is in the lap. He's got the trophy. And in another hand, he has the cigar that he's smoking. It's very Jordan-esque. And this song is playing, which is so black. Bring it up, Smiz. The late Frankie Beverly is singing, and Jalen is taking it in. Jalen Hurts, Channelville High School champion, Channelville, Texas, where his daddy, Averion, coached him for his entire high school career. Daddy was very instrumental, and mama as well. Jalen Hurts has an all-woman management team. His mama negotiated one of the most lucrative contracts in NFL history. His mama, he's got a woman manager, social media, marketing, and communications manager. His sports agent team, all women, black. His wife-to-be, who he shouted out in his speech, beautiful. Before the football game even started, though, they had the Southern Band out there, the Human Jukebox. Oh, my God. It was so black. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. And then Ledisi made an appearance, and she sang, lift every voice and sing. No, she didn't sing. She sang. Again, you could get everything. I wasn't there at the same time as everybody else, but I felt that thing. And ordinarily, I'd be like, why is Ledisi singing at the... But she must have known. This Super Bowl was different. It was different. I almost wanted to give myself a free pass to tune in, but, I am, if anything, consistent. So I was like, I said, I'm boycotting to the very end. But oh my gosh, she sang the hell out of that song. And it's a hymn, by the way. It is a spiritual, it is a Negro spiritual, which while the NFL took racism and all of that, they cannot take away the 70% of members of the football community, the football players, 70% of whom are not white, and 53% are Black and Hispanic who view it. The majority of viewers of the NFL are Black people. She was singing to us, and it was so powerful. Then the national anthem came, and it was John Batiste, son of Louisiana, Kenner to be exact. Kenner, Louisiana is where he grew up, sang that national anthem to that president who had to sit there and listen to Ledisi and John Batiste. Oh, and then the game, and it was 24-0. After this president predicted that the Kansas City Chiefs would three-peat. That's why he was showing up, the first sitting president to show up to a football game, only showed up because the football quarterback's wife is an ardent supporter of MAGA. And the colors are MAGA red, red and white. He just knew this was his moment. It was giving. Yes, miss. It was giving Munich, Germany, and those 18 Black folk that won medals while Hitler sat and watched. It wasn't just Jesse Owens. It was Jackie Robinson's brother and several others that won medals in the wake of what they deemed the master race. Black people reigned in Munich, Germany, and they reigned last night like a monsoon. I'm using rain in different ways. Then came the halftime show, which I had to wait for because I wasn't watching it live, but I was getting snippets all throughout. And it kicked off curiously with Samuel L. Jackson, kind of as it was very Shakespearean in the way there was like the witches and the bards and Samuel Jackson came and he showed up in a top hat looking like Uncle Sam. He's our Uncle Sam, though. He's our Uncle Samuel L. Jackson's our Uncle Sam. And then he was also playing throughout maybe Uncle Tom, a character that he immortalized in Django. It's interesting, Stephen. But he introduced Kendrick Lamar, who is the first solo rapper to ever headline a Super Bowl halftime show. And Lamar, in addition to doing a lot of things, knew the assignment. He showed up. This was intentional. This was not just a cobbling together of my greatest hits. This was, I'm going to deliver a message. And he says it. He says it. Lamar speaks of a revolution. He told the audience that the revolution will be televised. He said it will be televised. And this was a nod to Gil Scott-Heron. Gil Scott-Heron probably could not imagine, or maybe he could, a time such as this when the revolution could be televised on national television before a sitting president, before 100+ million people globally. Kendrick Lamar gave us a blueprint last night that you speak truth to power directly in their face. There is mischief, there is confidence. And yeah, we're too this, we're too that, we're too, no, we're enough. We're just the right amount. And I love that he, even in the wake of people like, no, don't go there. Don't go there. Would they not like us? Don't play that. Please don't play that. That would ruin everything. No, it is everything, because when he's talking, he's not talking to Drake. He's talking to Trump. He's talking to MAGA. He's talking to Black folk that will tell you, stop being too Black. Stop talking about race. Stop talking about, stop. You're complaining. You're doing too much. No, he's talking to all of those folk out there who don't realize what time we're in right now. This is not the time for silence. Silence is acquiescence. This is not a time to be complacent. This is not a time to acquiesce, one of our words. This is not a time to do that. This is a time to stand up, to get up and do, as Marcus Garvey would say. So he did that last night. And I'm not overstating, because I wrestled with, I vacillated, another word, between, am I doing too much? No, I'm doing enough. Because here's the thing, whatever you got out of it is what you needed to get. When you hear something, how it resonates with you is the message for you. May not be for everybody. I'm very clear. These messages may not be for everybody. And last night was not for everybody. It was specific. And if you didn't hear it, it wasn't for you. There's a scripture about itchy little ears, seeking the things that they want to hear. And then there's also my sheep hear my voice and they come. Those two things exist. Last night I heard something. I heard it late, but I got the message. I watched it all. I watched it again. And what I saw is that whether it's art, whether it's music, whether it's academia, whether it's radio or podcasting, whether it is bus driving or whether it is store clerking, whether it's lawyering or doctoring, wherever you are, you're enough, but also you have a responsibility to that body that you come in to be very clear about what side you stand. There's only two sides today. There's only two sides, and it's not black and white. And I love that. I went down a rabbit hole in processing all that Kendrick gave us. He said today the revolution will be televised. He said you picked the right time, but the wrong guy. And many people are like, oh, is he talking about Trump? He might be, because unlike Nelly and Snoop and Rick Ross and 50 Cent and all the other shucking and jiving people that's like, hey, don't be too ghetto. You got to stand in line. You got to watch your pockets. Oh, you don't want to be, on the other side. We got to get in line. I need the money. All those people who are selfishly inclined. He's talking to you, because Kendrick has always been 10 toes down for what has been right. Now, but was there something more pressing in your personal life that let you stand up there before those people and let them use the N-word in our faces? And Kendrick was very clear last night, too. He censored himself, which tells me something really about him, because his music is ladled with it. But it's not frivolous, and he was able to bleep himself last night. It was beautiful, except he did name check Drake. Hey, say Drake. And put that little smile on, because they told him not to do it. I'm sure they told him not to do it. And he did it because he's free. And that's what freedom looks like. Nobody controls you. And it wasn't even about Drake. Everybody's like, oh, he buried Drake. No. Drake buried himself. He started this, by the way. Anybody that needs a recount of what happened. He messed with this man, talked about his family. You got to know who you messing with when you mess with people. Then when it got too much, he sued. He was like, and Kendrick even referenced the lawsuit last night too. But I was like, this is a lesson in when people aren't bothering you, leave them alone. And I'm unbothered right now. Are you unbothered? Are we being bothered? So there was a lot of MAGA people last night. A lot of unmelanated, unseasoned souls just upset. Lauren Boebert had the nerve, the unmitigated gall, the audacity, not to hope, the audacity of a dope to say, tell me, this is what she tweeted, tell me I'm not the only one needing subtitles for this. #halftime. And I said, ma'am. Well, I didn't even give her the ma'am. I didn't give her the honorific. I said, didn't you fail the GED several times? Can you even read subtitles? Like, stay off of Beyonce's internet, Aretha Franklin's internet. Stay off of it, please. You sound stupid. Somebody else tweeted, not a single white person on stage. Well, now you know what DEI looks like. No one was qualified. This is what it looks like when we're not trying to shove you into the narrative. Not a single dancer. He came out, Kendrick Lamar had people dressed in red, white, and blue, and then they formed a flag. Everybody was black. All the dancers, all the singers, all the backup SZA, Serena Williams was there crip walking. It was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah, this is what it looks like when people who are qualified are actually doing. Yeah, you want to end DEI? You want to really end DEI? You got to find out who can do things and who cannot. So we're doing things on merit now. Be careful what you ask for. This is what it looks like. Because I know there's some black kickers out there. I know there's some punters and kickers that are better than every punter and kicker on every NFL team. Time to end DEI. Let's go. Saying something. Shoot. So that was last night. Somebody else said, it's a DEI. It's a DEI game. And then someone else was like, no white person can dance like that. And therefore they were omitted. Some other butt sore person said, there hasn't been a white headliner since 2019. They were just really mad because everybody was black. Well, newsflash, 70% of the NFL, not white. And as of April 2023, only 37% of the people who watch the NFL are white people. So if you are in business, and the NFL is a business, who are you catering to in this moment in time?
Introducing a new podcast. Karen Hunter is awesome.
If you like me on SiriusXM Urban View Channel 126, you're gonna love me. And Karen Hunter is awesome. Hey, this is Karen Hunter, host of the Karen Hunter Show on SiriusXM's Urban View. Karen Hunter is awesome is an actual podcast to bring heat and energy and knowledge and power. A 1-2 punch that I don't think you get anyplace else. Tell the truth. So check out the podcast wherever you get your podcast. You will not be disappointed.
Karen Hunter is awesome. A new podcast from Karen Hunter.